Hey there, Robbie Susan Chandler here from RobbieSusansCardsandCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who lives in Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. Today I'm here to share this beautiful card with you made with the Magnolia Mood stamp set and dies that are an online exclusive, which means you won't find them in a catalog, but they're online. And I have links to the item numbers below the videos, so you could just click on and find the product. But this is the stamp set, and it actually is item 163502. And then here is the die set. Not sure of the number of it, but there's the die set. Okay, let's take a look at this card. I love this card. I think it's so pretty. I have made a kind of pink magnolia out of this. And this is the front, and inside I made it a birthday card. So let's take a look at how I made this card and all the pieces and parts. Okay, first we're going to start with a soft seafoam card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this is our card base, soft seafoam. And then you'll need 2 sheets of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4. One is for the front and one is for your inside piece. Alright, so let's talk about the front piece first. And I've already done this piece, but first I stamped this little pod from the Magnolia set in the 2 corners of my basic white piece, and I used soft seafoam ink to do that. And then once I stamped it, I embossed it with the Fern embossing plate, and this is one that you have to use our gray plate with because it's one of our thicker embossing folders. And we get this look, which I think is gorgeous. I love the fern background with the magnolia. Alright, then I used a piece of seafoam, soft seafoam green ribbon, and just attached it on the bottom. And to attach my ribbon, I like to just put a little bit of snail on the back and just hook my ribbon on the back areas. Now on this one I am actually going to put a little bit of snail right here because it's going to be under my label. Normally your glue is going to show under your ribbon, but in this case, you see here I have my sentiment there, so it won't show there, but I kind of wanted to get it stable. Let me pull this side up a little bit. I can't stand it when my ribbon's not straight. There we go. We can work with that. Go down and touch. This really soft pliable ribbon can be a little bit difficult to get straight. So I'm going to look at the front here. Let's pull this up for a minute. Alrighty, lay it down, pull it right across, and then tuck it right under the end. There we go. Now let's put this piece down on our card front. And I'm a big fan of the liquid glue, as I can wiggle it around. And also I have found that embossed pieces, sometimes your snail doesn't want to hold it down because it doesn't have a good flat surface. So that's when I like to use the liquid glue, because it gives a better grip. See all these little raised surfaces? It's hard for this to get down in those grooves and hold your cardstock together. Alright, so we have our front. I tell you what, let's put our birthday on. And the birthday actually came from the Magnolia Mood, and I stamped it in Melon Mambo. And I'll show you too while I'm doing that. On the inside, I use Melon Mambo again, and I stamped the sentiment with Hooray for Surprises. This one, hope your birthday is wonderful. And then the little pod on this one is here, but in my classes I actually end up using this one for the inside, and I stamped that in Old Olive. And I think we'll see that in here. Yes, see, we used that one in here. So let's pop down our sentiment. can go ahead and put it down, and then we can work on our flower. So here's our happy birthday. Right down here. This is another reason I wanted to put a little bit of snail behind the ribbon, because this might not stick. See, most of it is on the ribbon and it isn't everything to grip to. But I think I pulled it far enough down that the bottom of it's attached to it. Okay, let's look at the flower. Oh, and I will show you that that label was cut with Labels, the glow die. This one right here. I liked it because it just fit that happy birthday just right. Okay, now back to the Magnolia. This is the die that's in the Magnolia Mood set. It is beautiful. As you can see, it has a lot of detail. It's got the flower, a little bud, another bud over here, and then the leaves around it. Well, what I did, I cut 2 of them out, and I colored the leaves on the bottom one. And I used the light and dark Old Olive. Well, these are 2 light ones, but I used a light and a dark. And see what's got me confused. It looks like somebody's got my lids mixed up. I'll have to get that straight. And then in the center, I used the dark Daffodil Delight. So this is the center, the Daffodil Delight. The leaves are in Old Olive. And I only did that on the bottom one. So that would look like this. Now also on the bottom one, I colored the bud and this one because I wanted to keep these on both of them. And all my flowers were colored with the light Mellow Mambo and the dark Bubble Bath. So anything you see dark is the dark Mellow Mambo, and the lighter areas is the dark Bubble Bath. I found these 2 blended quite nicely together. So this is our bottom piece. I'm actually going to go ahead and put it on. So it goes, let's see, I want my birthday to show. So let's put it, I guess, about like that. That looks good. So let's put a little glue on that. So this piece I just glued straight down. Okay, and I wanted my little pods to show there, so I'm going to kind of angle it around those pods. There we go. I like that. There's enough birthday showing that they get the idea. And like I said, sometimes it's hard to get these embossed areas to take glue, so we're going to let that sit there for a minute. Now let's talk about the top piece. The top one I colored with the light Mellow Mambo, and then I went out with the dark Bubble Bath. Now on this one, what I did, I cut the leaves off. So let me just snip these off. Pretty. And it's easier to tell where to snip after you've colored it, because before you color it, you're not quite sure which part are leaves and which ones are flowers. And there's a couple of areas that's questionable. You can just kind of pick what you want it to be. Okay, I don't like that little jagged. Let's cut those off. There we go. You know, sometimes I have trouble with scissors because I write and I eat left-handed, but you see which hand I have these scissors in. So, you know, everything else I do, I bat, I throw a ball. When I play tennis, I use my right hand. So I just kind of don't know which hand I want to use, but I eat and write left-handed. All right, let's get this leaf off. And there aren't really too many leaves. See, we're almost there. Now this section, you could leave that little area there, or you could cut it off. On this one, I'm going to leave it. On the first one I did, I wasn't sure and I cut it off, and then decided later I didn't like it like that. And then right along here, we got one more little section right here. Let's see, that didn't take too long. All right. And you've got these pretty leaf pieces if you want to save them to put on something else. So this is what we have left. Now I've put dimensionals on the back of it, and we're just going to pop it right down on top. I like the 2 together, one on top of the other. because I feel like it gives the flower more life, more dimension. I don't know, I've got this thing about flat flowers on the front of cards. Sometimes you have to do that, but if I can find some way to give them dimension, I will. Alright, so we're going to pop this right down on top of the other one. Looks like a pretty good match. Right there. Let's put this, I'm going to offset this a touch so both of those will show. And I kind of want this to offset a little bit. I'll probably put a little bit of glue behind that to keep it from falling off. It's pretty fragile. Okay, there we have it. How do you like that? Isn't that beautiful? Just a little bit of trim, a little bit of coloring. And the die, really, it does all the work here. It's just gorgeous. All right, another look at the inside. And on this one I put just a note to let you know that you are loved. And that actually comes from the Magnolia Mood stamp set. So we've got that beautiful happy birthday and that sentiment. So I hope you like this card and maybe you'll give it a shot. It's really pretty easy to do. I have links to a free tutorial down below the video and also links to all the supplies I used. And please like my video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And until next time, happy crafting!